I'll be real with you, Purposeful family. Producing content in times like these is hard. I'm not a full-time content creator, and I don't create just to fill time. If I don't have something valuable to say, then I'm not going to say it at all. I'm not going to say anything just to be seen. But what I do have is purpose. And purpose says keep the conversations going. Because let's be real, a lot is unfolding this season. And some days I wonder, should I be planning another episode or planning my exit? Despite that, and the fact that booking guests has been even harder with so much uncertainty, I refuse to let the chaos of this moment silence the conversations that still need to be had. So, yes, your girl took a purposeful pause, but I'm back. And it's Halloween, so it feels like the perfect time to reemerge, just like a ghost. The costumes are out, the vibes are spooky, and everybody's pretending just a little bit more than usual, in costumes and in real life. People are afraid, people are tired, people are trying to figure out what kind of world we're living in. And that's exactly why today's episode matters. So today, we are talking about the new civil rights battleground. Not in theory, but in real time. The battlefield isn't just the streets anymore. It's our schools, our grocery stores, our workplaces, our wallets, and our timelines. It's the way that we treat each other when the system wants us to fail. So, as the world dresses up in masks and makeup, wigs and costumes this Halloween, I'm going to be stripping things all the way back, because while this feels like a horror story, it is our real life. And the scariest part, some folks are still walking dead.
Happy Halloween.
Welcome to the Pretty Purposeful Podcast. I'm your host, Angee Mélange. If you are new here and would like to join our Purposeful family, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you be a part of our purposeful community that is growing. We have, the last I checked, you guys, we had over 350 followers on YouTube. So thank you so much to all of our new subscribers. We greatly appreciate the support. I have been growing this platform now, let's see, 2004. It hasn't been quite 2 years yet, but the podcast was relaunched in 2024. That's when the YouTube channel was launched. That's when the website was launched. So we are coming up on 2 solid years. It'll be in early 2026. We'll be celebrating 2 years of the relaunch of Pretty Purposeful Podcast. And so our YouTube channel will also be 2 years old. I will say that recently I have kicked up, the marketing a bit, but, in preparation for this season. So we are starting to see more people, subscribing and engaging. And so if that's you, thank you so much for being here. I would love to have your input. If you enjoy this content, then I definitely would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions about the different topics that I will talk about. And if you haven't seen the previous seasons, I would definitely recommend that you check out seasons 1 through 4. And I'm just glad to have you all here. And Purposeful family, those of you who have been here, y'all know that we kicked off season 5 just a few weeks ago, actually. And things have just been moving so fast. Before I knew it, I was getting ready to film episode 4, and I had to take a pause, y'all. Heck, when I did episode 3, the Purposeful Potpourri episode, I knew right then and there it was going to be time for me to take a break soon. And I just, like I said during episode 1 of this season, I am moving like water. I am really adapting to this ever-changing situation that we're dealing with in this country. And just, shifting day to day, however things are shifting, I'm just going with the flow. But at the same time, still want to be intentional about my purpose, not just existing, not just letting this situation dictate, my moves, but still being intentional. And so that is what brought me back in front of the camera today. I don't know if you missed me, but I did miss being here. And so I'm glad to be back. Last year on Pretty Purposeful Podcast for Halloween, it was a little bit more festive. I did have my co-host, my former co-host was here with me. And so we did a little dressing up. So if you weren't here, here's a little peek at that. And I don't know, y'all, this time of year always takes me back to my childhood. And I love dressing up. What about you, Candace? I mean, obviously.
Yes. This is definitely nostalgic for me because I used to always be an Egyptian lady when I used to go trick-or-treating, but now I'm an insect. So
oh my goodness. I love it. Yes, the antennas. Yes. You better. Well, this was a very cost-efficient costume. So anybody that wants to be Wednesday, get you a white collar button-down shirt. I have a black dress on and, get you a wig and braid it up. Or if you want to wear your natural hair. But it's a very cost-efficient costume. So I'm Wednesday this year.
You are pulled off very well, girly. I love it.
So much fun. That's one thing about me is I love to dress up. Well, first of all, I'm a creative. I love to entertain. Any opportunity for me to put on a costume, I'm always going to be for it if I'm not creating the costume myself. So, throughout the years, I have, for Halloween, one year I did Mariah Carey. One year I was Selena. Let's see. A couple years ago, I actually was in an episode of First Wives Club. And so I did my own makeup and I was Lady Blueface. I think that's her name. But that was pretty fun. And so, yeah, that's probably one of those hidden talents that people don't know that I do makeup. Yeah, never really aspired to be, a makeup artist on set. But considering I am here in Atlanta and I'm building up my network within the film industry. Who knows? Someday I may be on set doing makeup. I know I had an opportunity, was it last year to actually design some wardrobe for a movie. It hasn't come out yet. I actually played a part. I played a role in the movie. So I don't know if the producers, if they're still shopping the movie or not. But last I heard, it was going to be featured on Tubi. So if I hear anything more about it, I'll let you know. But it's if you're a creative being in this area, there's definitely going to be opportunities. And if there aren't any opportunities, you certainly will be motivated to create your own, like I have, and will continue to do. So with that being said, I thought about dressing up, but I said, you know what? I'm here by myself this time. And again, just jumping back in and knowing that by the time this airs, it will be Halloween. So anyway, we are going to go ahead and get into this topic. I'm trying to think if there's any PPP updates. Let's see. So you guys have got my updates. Pretty much I have been just continuing to work my day job and continuing to just keep an eye on what's going on in this country, just like the rest of us, right? We all have to it's like you want to relax, you want to rest, and you want to live, right? But I feel like right now, with there being so much uncertainty, I almost feel like we're just a constant, work in progress. Like this thing is, just as the government is shut down right now, I feel like our society is just kind of shut down. Just like I just took a purposeful pause, I feel like our country right now is on some type of a pause, but it's not purposeful. It's not purposeful at all. but we certainly can find purpose in it. Okay. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this topic, y'all, because your girl is tired. Look, I ain't even gonna hold you, okay? That's one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. And when your girl is not here, I'm not showing up, it's because I'm tired, or it's because I'm pouring my time and energy into something else that matters to me. And just like with everything in life, it's a constant balancing act. So here I am. So let's go ahead and get into this episode today. So, this past weekend was actually the No Kings protest. They were all over the country. There were even some that were in other countries as well. So, I'll go ahead and roll that clip. Yeah, that was very powerful. I have to say I was a little worried at first, like a couple days before the protest, you start hearing people on the right starting to call the protest I hate America, rally and all this, propaganda, fake news. So, I was a little concerned. But I also feel that I wasn't motivated to go out because, you know, I still repping the 92%, definitely went hard for Kamala, definitely had my boots on the ground last year, trying to get people out to vote, trying to get people to vote, not based on race, not based on the fact that she was Black, not the fact that, uh, she's a woman, no, like literally, morally, this woman, you clearly can tell between her and Trump, there is no comparison. There's just no comparison. So I say all that to say, just like the rest of the 92% and the Black community, that just does not feel energized to go out in those streets and fight because we are tired. We always are fighting. And every time we fight, other races benefit from our struggle and from our fight, from us speaking up, especially Black women. And it's just, we tired. We are really collectively tired. We've been tired. Imagine, like, it just frustrates me because there was so much hesitation, so much, so much resistance for us to get reparations. Yet we're seeing the racism play out, the racism that we've been saying that we've been experiencing. They saying the quiet part out loud now, right? So since they so bold to say the quiet part out loud, I'm gonna need them to remember that when this regime is out of that White House, so we can collect our reparations. Because at this point, if our enslaved ancestors and our family being oppressed systemically for generations, if that wasn't enough for us to be eligible for reparations, this motherfucking shit that's going on right now, baby, that's it. That this right here is it. Okay. It's like we recover from this. This is why No Kings. I support the movement. I am, I'm thankful for everybody that went out there and who will continue to go out there. But I just feel like when it comes to the Black community, those of us who have been directly impacted by slavery, by systemic oppression and racism, and up into this, administration getting it, we're still fighting for civil rights. Heck, I just almost 2 years ago was trying to get the Civil Rights Act amended to actually include mixed race people because we're not listed in there. And we experience racism and discrimination based on our skin color, based on our ethnicity, based on our national origin, all of that. But it doesn't speak to multiracial people in our Civil Rights Act. So we got to leave it up to the, we got to leave it up to the courts to determine our race. That's part of the problem. That is discrimination. Like, if the courts are going to determine my race, that's the same as somebody else seeing me and misidentifying me or miscategorizing me and using that to discriminate against me. So yeah, trust me, I stepped back. I took a step back because I was, those of you who have been following the podcast or who know me personally or been following my journey, that in 2022, I was wrongfully terminated. And it thrust me into this campaign of, advocating for the multiracial community, those who are mixed, who grew up, maybe you grew up with your Black parents, maybe you grew up with your white parent, whatever the case is, everybody's experience is going to be different. But I know for me, being raised by Black women and being in a family of, yes, I have multiracial women in my family, but they were raised by a Black woman, and that Black woman was raised by a Black woman. So it's just like, I've been influenced by Black women, and my experience has been, that of anybody else in the Black community, what you've seen, what you've heard, what you've experienced, and what you've witnessed, all the way down to police, brutality. Like, I was wrongfully arrested. I keep saying I'm gonna talk about that, but I almost feel like that situation that I went through deserves a whole episode of its own, almost like a story time. And I think I'm going to do that this season. I wanted to talk about that on the episode that I do about surviving the police in Trump's America. So I may still do that. But again, I could have filmed that episode now, but honestly, the amount of emotional toll that episode is going to take on me with the limited energy that I have right now, it's just not a good combination. So, but hopefully I will be able to do that episode soon. Hey, it might be the episode that comes out next week. Who knows? But these topics are very sensitive, and they definitely can take an emotional toll. So I do want to pace myself. And I think too, that's part of the reason why I needed to take the pause, because just as we're entering this new season, and the first two episodes were just like Trump, 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 Charlie Kirk, Trump, and Charlie Kirk and Trump, like, enough of them, like, enough of them, right? But at the same time, that's why when I came back with episode 3, Purposeful Potpourri, I thought, let me do something a little bit lighthearted, still relevant to the times that we're living in, but not so much focused on the shenanigans, right, that we're having to deal with. But here we are, we are in this new civil rights era. Looks completely different than it did with our ancestors. We have access to more information, more technology, more, we have access to each other, whereas back in the day, Black people that might have been in Mississippi may not have had much communication with people that were in Texas, right? They may have had relatives that were separated, right, through slavery. They wasn't able to just pick up the phone or get on the internet and do my ancestry and find a family. No. So nowadays we have access to this technology that can keep us connected, help us mobilize, help us stay, on one accord and informed. So that's just kind of where we are. We really do have to leverage the technology that we have, the education that exists. I mean, the amount of intelligence that we have in our community, everything from the medical field to the, the professors that are in, the educational system, to those who are into technology, information systems. Researchers, and we got people that work in NASA. We have access to intelligence. So we are absolutely in a better position than our ancestors were in. So we just really have to continue to be strategic and leveraging all the resources that we have.
At Pretty Purposeful Events, event planning meets social impact. We plan, we host, we build community. Grounded in service, guided by values. From youth empowerment events to community outreach, we create spaces that bring people together with purpose. Let's create something purposeful together. Pretty Purposeful Events is based in Atlanta, Georgia, proudly serving nonprofit and community-based organizations nationwide. Virtual services available. For more information, visit us online at prettypurposefulevents.com.
Literally, even just within your neighborhood, within your community, building a coalition, knowing, who your neighbors are. I mean, times are different, and it's not like back in the day where everybody on the block knew you. I've been living in Georgia I've been living here over 7 years, and I can only tell you my 2 neighbors that, live next to me. other people I see in the community, but I don't know. But yeah, that's just kind of, how we have to maneuver. But speaking of the No Kings protest, again, great turnout. While I wasn't there, I was definitely there in spirit. I did attend the mass call that they had on Tuesday. So that was the following Tuesday after the protest. And it was pretty informative. I love the way that they did it. It was like it was almost like you were attending a live webinar, but you really couldn't, there were no comments. They just kept, sharing information, which I love that, there was no distraction. It just flowed. So again, shout out to the No Kings protest organizers. And again, I'm not quite comfortable being outside on the front line at this point, but I will continue to do my part using my platform, my voice, and any other safe ways to spread awareness and to mobilize. I will. All right, let's see. So yeah, the turnout was definitely massive. They said it was like 7 million people. Definitely proved that there's more of us than them. And there's still more people that believe in humanity and equality and decency, basic humanity. We are tired, Black people, Black women especially, we are tired. We have marched, we've voted, we've organized, we've prayed, and oftentimes we're left alone to fight a battle by ourselves that everybody seems to benefit from. So this time, many of us are resting and sitting this out, but we're not disconnected. We're not disengaged from the cause. We're just strategically engaging. Speaking of engagement, how about the idiot? I don't even know what to call him, but that old man that craps his pants had the nerve to post a meme after the No Kings protest of him flying a fighter jet and dumping poop all over the protesters. Are you kidding me? I still cannot conjure up the words to express just how appalled, disgusted, just ashamed. America really, really was great, and the fact that his slogan was "Make America Great Again," and this is what you call great. You the president, dumping crap on innocent people. And it's not even like, let's just be real. There were protesters on those streets that day, but there were also innocent people who were going to and from work. It might even have been some of the MAGA people out there. Okay. So when you dump on your country, that's an act of terrorism. Okay. That is an act of terrorism. I'm sorry if somebody spit on me, but defecating, that is the most foul, vile, just trifling, nasty, it just tells you who he is.
Shadows crawl, they twist, they spin. Underneath the devil's grin. Bells they toll and night begins. Blackened skies, the moon is gone. Every step feels so.
At Pretty Purposeful Events, event planning meets social impact. We plan, we host, we build community. Grounded in service, guided by values. From youth empowerment events to community outreach, We create spaces that bring people together with purpose. Let's create something purposeful together. Pretty Purposeful Events is based in Atlanta, Georgia, proudly serving nonprofit and community-based organizations nationwide. Virtual services available. For more information, visit us online at prettypurposefulevents.com.
I'm over it. Stuff like that is you talk about culture shock. And I'm an adult dealing with this. How do you think the babies? How do you think the kids? How do you explain to a 5-6-year-old who learns in school that the president, of the United States is the highest office in this nation, and this is how the person behaves? And this is what I was afraid of the last time that he was in office. As a parent, I was aware of his behaviors and the impact that it could have on children, which I'm surprised why all these little, MAGA young, the ones that were following Charlie Kirk, I'm wondering why these young folks is even following him when he was president last time. He didn't give a crap about their ass. He never talked about the kids. Because clearly on the public, when he had the opportunity to influence and encourage and impact American children, he failed. And then his wife came out with her little Be Best campaign. Are you serious? See, let me just apologize to any of my elders that are watching this. I usually am mindful about my language, but these days, what we are witnessing and what we're experiencing, I'm cussing. And I do apologize. I don't mean to offend any of my elders or anybody out there, but all the code switching. Like, this is my platform. When I'm at work or I'm in certain spaces, yeah, I will be appropriate. But on here, on this platform, this is a safe space. So if you hear me cuss, please don't take offense. I'm just frustrated. And I can cuss good now. I can cuss good. I don't like to cuss. I don't think ladies, I don't think ladies look good cussing. But we are not living in normal times right now. So I don't really expect anybody to act normal. Okay. With that being said, tell me what you thought about the No Kings protest. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you went. If you did, let me know, what was your takeaway from it? And let me know what you thought about that damn nasty ass video he posted. Like that, y'all. I am still processing. I'm still processing that the president of the United States did that. Like, this is really what we doing. And this is why I want to come up on here, y'all. Because y'all want me to just come up on here. But I can come up on here and cuss real good and talk. But I like to be organized, with my topic. And like I said, these topics these days have been so heavy. It's just, I want to get on here and be able to bring y'all some good news. I want to be able to share some positive updates and some uplifting topics. But it's like, I don't want to be out of touch. Right now, people need to hear content that's relative to what they're dealing with. So speaking of what people are dealing with, let's talk about this economy. Because we got Trump taking lunch away from the babies, taking funding away from the kids going to school, taking SNAP benefits from families, from elderly people who are, on Medicaid, Medicare, taking away health care. It's a lot. It's a lot going on right now. And we talk about social determinants of health. Last season, no, actually, and that was season 3, gosh. We did an episode, we were talking about harvesting justice, actually was the episode. And we talked a lot about the social determinants of health, the different socioeconomic impactors that affect the ability for a person, that impact a person's ability to access healthcare. It could be financial, it could be distance. Maybe they live far out and they don't have transportation. Maybe they're not employed, so they don't have, they have minimal income. They can't afford, regular, to be able to show up to their appointments consistently. Maybe there's co-pays they can't afford to pay. So all these different things. But right now, the poorest of the poor of America, those who are living below the poverty line, are getting ready to lose their food benefits and health care. Let's not even talk about housing, because without food stamps, without EBT to help people to supplement their income, that means people are going to be using their income. Most of the people that are on SNAP benefits are making minimum wage or not much more than minimum wage. And then once you take taxes out, they're not going to have no money, to buy food. So, yeah, listen, it's the elderly, the disabled, the most vulnerable people in America right now. And it's so sad because, again, I talked about this on episode 1 of this season, how they're doing this, that, the people at the top, they are putting pressure on the middle class, right? Because, prices are up, work hasn't changed, right? If anything, people have lost jobs. So the job, market is not helping the situation. Then you got these people here that are living below poverty, that are getting their basic needs, basic necessities stripped from them. And we're going to talk about that in the next segment. We're going to talk about what that really looks like. But just for a moment, y'all think about that. How cruel does a person have to be? It's not just Trump. It's all the Republicans right now that have not spoken up, that are compliant with all of Trump's shenanigans, that have not stepped aside and separated themselves from the foolishness. That just goes to tell you that they don't have a soul. Their soul is gone. All they chasing money. That's all it is. They're chasing money by any means necessary. And it's so bad. It's so nasty, because when you think, is Trump the bar? Is he the bar when it comes to success? Is that what young white men look up to Trump and see as a successful man? No, that's not a successful man. That's a man that was given. That's a man that was born into wealth. And then that's a man who has been crooked his whole entire life. He's a liar. He's a cheater. He's a con artist. He's a scammer. He's racist. He's an abuser. I mean, this is who white males are looking up to, or this is who the poorest of the poor in America look up to and see success. He has failed businesses. He has scammed. He had a nonprofits. He was convicted of fraud. He had a college. Okay, did he scam people out of money for? This is what he does. And now he's just at a larger scale. Now he just has a larger, he has a larger pool of people to help him with his dirty deeds and limited access to our funds. So I'm not telling you all anything that you don't know. I mean, and if I am, then hey, at least you know what's going on right now in this country. Because I get it. Some people don't want to watch the news. It's depressing. But on this podcast, I'm definitely going to be talking about what's happening, what's been happening since the last episode, what's happening now, and what's getting ready to happen. I got to keep you informed. If not, what am I doing this for? Right? So yeah, it's about to get really hard, and it's getting so bad. I heard on TikTok the other day that people were actually saying that they were going to rob Walmart. Check this out.
Marianne here, y'all. If you want the address to my Walmart, all I gotta say is they short-staffed, if you know what I mean.
Ma'am!
You ain't looking in my bag.
Walmart said there will be no stealing at a Walmart. We don't give a f. I don't got y'all EBT, but y'all not gonna come in this and motherfucking steal.
Why don't we just let them take this bullet for us? That's all I'm saying. November 3rd, let the white people raid Walmart. Black people, pay for your groceries. Do what you're supposed to do. Keep your head on a swivel, because you'll still get blamed for stuff just because you're in the vicinity anyway.
If you are in a grocery store this weekend and you see a mommy stealing diapers for her children, you are going to look away. If you are in a supermarket and you see a family stealing formula to feed their babies, you are going to look away. And you happen to be in a Piggly Wiggly, and there's a mommy in there stealing milk and cereal so she can give her kid breakfast in the morning, well then guess what? You're gonna look away. I want to leave a clear message that I don't condone any of this, but this government shutdown is going to put people's backs against the wall.
I'm not a fan of looting. I would not condone that. I would encourage that, because it is still a crime. Okay. But people have to understand desperation. Okay. People have to understand what desperation looks like and what it can cause people to do. And when folks cannot afford to eat or to just live, oh, there goes society.
The word is they robbing motherfuckers at the grocery store tomorrow. November 1st, they robbing motherfuckers at the grocery store.
So, y'all really gonna tell me that the people who ain't gonna be getting no food stamps for November, that they've got plots and plans? I've seen the plots and plans to go into Walmart and just push out a whole car of groceries. I just heard that people are actually going to be attacking people with baskets full of groceries as they come out of the stores. They're gonna take all of their food from them. What the hell is this world done come to where we really got to be out here robbing people for food?
There goes your civility. You want to talk about unrest? You want to talk about people protesting in the streets, protesting against this government? No, they're going to be doing more than protesting against the government. They're going to be protesting just to eat. Literally. And that protest may come in the form of crime. Robbing, sticking up banks, robbing grocery stores. Hey, even, breaking and entering in homes. Breaking, what they call them, home invasions. We're going to get into it right now because, let's see. Yeah, we're going to get into that right now. So, Before we get into that, let me know in the comments below, are you someone whose benefits are getting cut, or do you know someone whose benefits are getting cut? What are some things that you all are doing? How are y'all approaching this? Let us know in the comments below. So, as I was mentioning, I know this episode is Halloween. Ooh, spooky, right? I'm not trying to scare anybody, but we are living in times where we do have to be transparent and we have to be vigilant about changing circumstances because things are changing so quickly. And I want to be honest, to everybody that's watching this. I don't know what your current financial situation is. I don't know if you're someone who has stable employment. I don't know if you're someone who was on, SNAP, getting EBT benefits. I don't know if you're someone who is rooming, with someone, right? Everybody's got a different story. Everybody's got a different situation. So what I'm about to say in this next segment, it's going to apply to you, but I just don't know. I don't know which perspective is going to apply. I don't know if it's going to be the perspective of protect yourself, or it's going to be the perspective of you might want to think twice before you do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. And y'all notice I have not had my glasses on this whole episode, y'all. I really need to invest in some contacts because y'all do not be wanting to be up on here looking like no granny, okay? We pretty purposeful over here. We are not trying to be over here looking like pretty geriatrics, okay? I hear the passion. I hear the frustration. I even hear the worry. The one young lady that was saying, just like I've been saying, like, look, I'm from the hood. I grew up in the hood. I understand when you don't have, you going to find a way to feed them kids. And it's a trickle down effect. And I don't live in the hood right now, so I don't have that vantage point to see, what is it like to live in the hood in 2025. I don't know. I haven't lived in the hood in a very, very, very long time. However, I do still understand the struggle. You don't forget what it's like to grow up poor, right? I just know these days you got a lot of people on TikTok. A lot of these, people who are getting SNAP benefits are actually influencers. This is gonna bother the crap out of me. It is. A lot of these influencers on TikTok, were SNAP benefit recipients. And a lot of them would be using, the food stamps to buy food that they use for their TikTok videos. Or, some people were making food out of their house, like pastries and dinners, and, they're using SNAP benefits. MAGA and the racist people will tell Black people, oh, that's wrong, But meanwhile, they people do the same. Okay? They be having businesses and be having a wife on public assistance while they got a business in their name, the wife or the girlfriend or whomever collecting benefits. So they do it too. So just like in the one video that we did, the one episode that we did, was it? Oh, it was the begging, people on TikTok begging. Okay. So it's the same thing. Like, it's no judgment. I'm not judging. Yeah, we can say there are people out there who abuse the system. There are people who are out there that get SNAP benefits and don't use the assistance to actually grow. And to those people, this is a life lesson for them. This is a wake-up call. Hopefully for those people, my hope is that this experience makes them stronger, makes them more resilient, makes them more resourceful, makes them better parents, makes them make better decisions. It's not to talk down on them, and it's sad that there are people out there that are actually finding joy in someone else's pain. Like that is just, it's horrible. Because when you really think about the situation at hand, yeah, there are some people who are lazy. There's some people who just don't like authority. And so some of those people end up being on public assistance because they're not able to keep a job. They'll get a job, but they can't keep it because maybe there's some, behavioral issues, some mental health issues. And again, in the Black community, all of these things are major impactors to everything: housing, employment, healthcare, just being able to feed yourself, like that stability. Black people, the community is often not stable, especially when we've had to navigate systems that were purposefully designed for us not to grow, for us to be dependent, for us to be stagnant, for us to become complacent and comfortable and lazy. Okay. Because I'll say this, I wasn't able to get stamps. Most of my friends when I was younger, they had kids, so they were able to get food stamps and Section 8. I wasn't eligible for that. I don't have that personal experience in my adult life. So I don't know what that feels like to be a parent and have to depend on the government to feed your child. I don't know what that feels like. But I know that my mom went through it, and I know that my mom worked. I know my mom went to school, and I know that there are many single moms out there who are doing the same. And that, those SNAP benefits help them be able to use their money for things like, toilet paper and a phone bill and sanitary products for women, diapers and wipes for the babies. So my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody that's impacted by this government shutdown, by the SNAP benefits, especially those who work in the government, who are currently not getting paid. Those are the TSA workers, really anybody that works in any government agency that is not MAGA. Because those of y'all that's MAGA, y'all the reason why we in this. You get no empathy, none whatsoever. Enjoy the days that you are about to get, as you certainly deserve them. All the innocent, children out there who are about to be impacted, my thoughts and prayers go out. I was going to actually delve in this segment. I was actually going to delve in the topic of protecting ourselves and each other. And, like I said, we're heading into Halloween this weekend. So it's that time of the year where you got people out there that is going to have their mask on. It's going to be people out there with masks on trying to have fun. And then you're going to have ICE out there, trying to kidnap and disappear people. But some of those masks could be people up to no good. Okay. Some people out there with masks on are going to be up to no good. So if you're going out to party, make sure that you watch your surroundings, make sure that you don't travel alone. Be kind, okay? Like if you out and about, like just be kind because you don't know what people are going through. I can't stress that enough. I personally, I don't have a problem with being kind. I want to be treated with respect and dignity and kindness. And so I do treat people that way. You don't have to earn dignity and respect. I'm going to give it to you off top just from you being a human being. But how are you protecting your peace these days? How are you protecting your peace? How are you protecting your person? Okay. How is you protecting yourself? Whether that be physically, mentally, spiritually, let us know in the comments below, Purposeful Family, what you're doing to protect your peace, because it is so necessary these days to be intentional about how you're protecting your peace and how you're protecting your people. So yeah, let us know in the comments below what you're doing to protect yourself, protect your peace, protect your home, protect your family. And not talking about just physical protection, but I mean like your future. What are you doing to secure and protect your future? Are you, watching your spending? Are you taking advantage of, bulk shopping at places like Costco and shopping in bulk? Let us know what you're doing. Somebody out there could benefit from your advice. I know me personally, just growing up poor, I'm not opposed to eating generic brands. I'll be the first to tell you. I do have a problem with people, especially Black people. I can't even say white people because I don't know any white people that do this. I only know Black people that grew up poor, and then when they get some money, they act different and brand new. Okay, no, I still buy off-brand things. Not everything now. Not everything now. My ketchup gotta be Heinz. I'm very particular about that. What else? Hot sauce. Now look, hot sauce. I used to be a Frank's hot sauce girl, but since I've been in the South, I like what is it called? Texas Pete hot sauce. No, that's the one for me. Can't do no generic hot sauce. It has to be Texas Pete. But yeah, just like what are some things that you are doing right now to protect your wallet, protect your peace, protect your sanity? Let us know in the comments below.
At Pretty Purposeful Events, event planning meets social impact. We plan, we host, we build community. Grounded in service, guided by values. From youth empowerment events to community outreach, we create spaces that bring people together with purpose. Let's create something purposeful together. Pretty Purposeful Events is based in Atlanta, Georgia, proudly serving nonprofit and community-based organizations nationwide. Virtual services available. For more information, visit us online at prettypurposefulevents.com.
So before we get out of here, I do just want to say that today we talked about the new civil rights battleground. And when we talk about civil rights today, we're not just talking about, protests and marches like the No Kings protest, but we're talking about food, safety, healthcare, education, and dignity. It's just simple. As simple as that. Those are basic human rights. We're talking about the right to exist without living in fear. Not everyone can march, and some of us fight through advocacy. Some of us fight through art, and some of us fight through rest and resistance. But however you show up, just show up. If this conversation sparked something in you, share it. If it challenged you, sit with that. Growth is purpose in motion. As always, if you aren't following the podcast on socials, definitely follow Pretty Purposeful Podcast on TikTok. We are at Pretty Purposeful P on TikTok, and we are at Pretty Purposeful Podcast on Instagram. If you want to follow my personal TikTok, you can find me at Angee Mélange. All right. I do go live on my TikTok, y'all. It's usually on the weekends. It's usually a get ready with me. I'm usually getting ready to film either the podcast or film Pretty Undercover. Sometimes I might just be getting ready for brunch or just getting out. So if you see me go live on there, definitely join my live. That's really all I had.
'Twas a season of wonder, so joyful and bright. At the festival of trees where magic shines bright. The pink pig carries you through the forests aglow with shimmering lights and visions of snow. But oh, dear traveler, the magic's not through. Beyond the trees, more wonders await you. Penny and Porter whisk you away through a wintry world, a dazzling display. Join Penny and Porter, the pink pig crew, and their happy friends bringing fun to you. These playful pigs, so full of cheer, invite you to join the fun this year. From treats to be made so sweet and so neat, to Lego feats, can they be beat? To reindeer games where champions play, will you be the victor? Go try today. With a twinkle, a chuckle, and arms open wide, Santa himself is right by your side. Around each corner, the magic expands in holiday scenes where Christmas stands. With gingerbread houses so sweet and so grand, each one a marvel, a dream made by hand. The music swells, the voices soar, live shows enchant, bringing joy evermore. As the season unfolds and the joy draws near, the magic of Christmas is crystal clear. With lights, laughter, and moments so dear, at the Festival of Trees, Christmas starts here.
Saturday, November 29th, I'll be performing 2 p.m. at the Gath South Convention Center in Duluth, Georgia. Tickets are on sale. When you purchase your ticket, definitely make sure that you choose Saturday the 29th. Because the festival does run from November 22nd through the 30th. But y'all come out. It's it's for a great cause. Those of you who don't know, the Georgia Festival of Trees is a nonprofit organization. They do this annual fundraiser every year. People donate trees. They decorate trees. When you come, it's just like a winter wonderland full of different trees that you can bid on, different Christmas souvenirs, Christmas decorations and decor, goodies. There's trip giveaways. If you have kids, there are activities for the kids. They have the pink pig train. It's a good time. It's definitely really fun and festive, and it's a great family friendly event. And the proceeds benefit an organization called Street Grace. They actually are a faith-driven organization that they help end the sexual exploitation of minors. Hey, come and support your girl. Come and see me perform, y'all. Y'all know I love performing. One thing your girl gonna do, I'm gonna always be on stage. I'm gonna be on somebody's stage somewhere. I don't care where I'm at. I'm gonna be on somebody's stage. Okay. So if you're here in Georgia and you want to come out and support, definitely come out, take some pictures with me. Let's get some hot cocoa. Let's just make it a memorable moment. And yeah, of course, I'm still looking for guests for this season. You guys, I know there's a lot going on right now, so it's been really challenging to get people to commit to days and even topics, because people have a lot that they want to say. And I'll say this, if none of the topics that I have on the website resonate with you, you are welcome to submit your own topic. It doesn't even have to have anything to do with the civil rights. It don't have to have anything to do with Trump or, anything that we're going through. If you want to come on and talk about parenting, or you want to talk about, I don't know, relationships, whatever it is that you want to talk about, you want a platform. If you want me to give you some advice, definitely hit your girl up. I want as many diverse voices to be heard on this platform. So I will encourage those of you who have never been on a podcast to consider being a guest. It's not that scary. It's really not scary. I mean, at first it can be, but it's your opportunity to, introduce yourself to our purposeful family and the world. Your story deserves to be heard. So consider sharing it here on the Pretty Purposeful podcast. As I said, I guess you would say I'm back from my pause, but I'm still, producing and editing at my own pace. And I just appreciate you all sticking in there and continuing to support and just understanding, we're just taking it one day at a time, every one of us. I enjoy talking to y'all, but again, I'm not doing this just to be seen. I want to make sure that what I'm sharing is actually valuable. So I do hope that something that was shared on this episode was valuable to you. If you haven't checked out the Purpose Hub on our website, prettypurposefulpodcast.com, check it out, because that is where I will be putting links to any upcoming grassroots events, any protests, just things that you can do to be involved and stay active. I will be updating that. And also, we talked about the economy. We talked about the loss of SNAP benefits and the impact that that's going to have on families, our most vulnerable citizens, including the babies and the vulnerable elderly, and then just how that is going to put people at risk of, being victims of, crimes, robberies, break-ins, carjackings. Even grocery stores and different retailers are going to most likely beef up their security around this time of the year. They always do, right? They always beef up security around the holidays. So they definitely are going to now. I would just want to remind you all to just be safe, stay vigilant, help someone else if you're able to. I know I have, my mom is still in Pittsburgh. So, I've reached out to her, checking on her, making sure that she's good. And I will support her throughout this government shutdown or whatever they're doing. I'm going to support those that I can support in ways that I can support. And I would encourage you, if you're able to do something for someone, I would say don't wait for them to ask, because people do still have pride. And the thing about it is, in these circumstances, some people have so much pride because of this internet thing. We are seeing a lot of people come out and be transparent and, share what their situation is. I think, matter of fact, before we get out of here, there's a clip here. This young man is Eva Pickford's ex-husband, I think. But check this out. He just revealed that he gets EBT. Check this out.
I got an EBT card, and this is at Breezy Bowl and made 90 whatever the million, and it say KKKKK Max. Can I get 25,000 for them four songs I owe you, bro? I just want to leave, bro.
Leading up to who he is.
I'm not even tripping though. I got an EBT card, my nigga. Like, what the fuck? I can't even get nothing, bro, man. Y'all want to see me cry in here, so y'all can think I'm a bro. That ain't fair.
Hey,
I'm on EBT, bro.
Hey.
That's why.
Hey, look, bro.
Calm down, bro.
I'm on EBT, smack. Look. Say my name, bro. That shit is better. I had to go up in there by my face with a mask, like COVID, bro.
Yeah, so a lot of people are starting to humble themselves. I mean, we're seeing people, celebrities. I seen this like within the last 2-3 years. I've been seeing a lot of celebrities coming out, being more engaging with the public, doing more of the trendy TikTok, type of trends to keep their engagement up, because they are monetizing, off of social media, because, just the way that everything is, the industry, all the industries have been impacted ever since the pandemic. And, there was a strike in Hollywood. And so a lot of the actors and people that just, even myself, like when they were striking, I wasn't really working per se, but those who that, acting is their full-time job, that definitely affected their livelihood, not knowing when the strike was going to be over. And so y'all, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. God is still in control. We still have a higher power, one that is greater than, any understanding that we could ever fathom. We just have to do the work here, amongst one another, to share the resources that we have and to come together as community and help one another during this time. So again, thank you all for joining. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and become a part of our Purposeful family. Go ahead and like this video. If it resonated with you, share it out with someone. If this is your first time here and this is your first impression of me, I can tell you right now, my energy is not anywhere near where it normally is. Just everything that's going on is taking a toll on me. Again, all related to what's going on right now. So I would say to just take this episode with a grain of salt. Check out some of the other episodes and you will see some of the things that we talk about and just some of the engagement opportunities there are. And this community is still growing, it's still evolving, and there's no telling what it will end up being or what it will look like a year from now. But I will tell you that we are steadily growing. And so I thank all of you who have decided to join and to subscribe. And I encourage you to engage, share your thoughts with me. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you didn't like. Let me know what you want to see in the future. And I'm going to keep on showing up.
Here's the last one because I have the devil in me. D'Angelo.
I will always love you.
Oh, that was good.
As I always like to tell you all, it's okay to be pretty. Okay, because we do pretty over here. Let me take my glasses off here. It's okay to be pretty, but even better to be pretty purposeful. Until next time, y'all. Peace.